Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of the Brotherhood of the Arrow and Sword channel. With us today is Frank Perrin of the Bayt Al Asad Combat Arts. What is the Bayt Al Asad Combat Arts?
All right, thank you. So Bayt Al Asad, also in Arabic, means House of the Lion, and it is very akin to what a lot of HEMA schools do, except we are focusing on the Middle East, Central Asia, and North Africa.
Okay.
Any parts of the world where primarily you consider the Islamic world. It doesn't mean we're just studying things that were done by Muslims, but primarily those dynasties that were ruling the area.
Right.
And a bulk of our studies focuses in the translated manuscripts from Persia, diving into Turkey, some of North Africa, and some experimental archaeology with India. Okay. So that's what we're getting into right now.
Now you were, if I remember correctly, because we've worked with Frank before, you were working with a pretty well-known professor doing a lot of this research, right? Who is that?
So that is a man named Dr. Manusher Khorasani. Unfortunately, we had split ways professionally a while back, but because of this opportunity now, I've had a chance to build upon his interpretation, his translations, and now just not sit in the frame of Persia, but now expand beyond Iran and into other parts of the Middle East.
Okay.
And so I know that, Frank, it's not who you go by in a ring. So what persona, who are you when you are doing your martial arts?
Thank you. So I go by the Persian warrior by the name of Rostam, and specifically, what people don't realize, right, is that Persia in the Middle Ages very rarely was ruled by native Iranians. Right, usually from about the 7th century to the 15th century, or so 16th century, there was outsiders ruling Persia. So Rostam is a northern Iranian warrior who serves actually under the warlord, if you remember, Tamerlane. So he's actually one of the lead knights under Tamerlane.
Okay.
So because Timur had healthy relationships with the West, that justifies my portrayal of a Persian knight to go out and interact with groups that do primarily Western Europe.
Right. Now your actual heritage is Moroccan.
Yeah.
All right. So that's around the same area, correct?
But I want a cultural bleed over.
Okay.
Right, but right now we don't have a ton of stuff popping up from Morocco.
Okay.
Maybe I'll expand to that one day once it comes up.
Right.
But because Persia was the first thing from the Middle Eastern or Islamic world that came up in translations, that's what I latched on to.
Now, we were discussing this at the last event. What is your actual educational training?
Oh, okay. So I have a master's degree in public history with a focus in museum education, and I worked for about 10 years in the museum field before switching over to teach high school history at a preparatory charter academy in Cumberland, Rhode Island, and there I teach art history and ancient civilizations.
Okay.
And one of the things I noticed today was that you were teaching a lot about the Persian world and correcting people on things that we have gotten wrong, with stereotypes and terminology that has kind of snuck in that is incorrect. So is that one of your main focuses when you're out here and interacting, is education?
Yes, very much so. Because when I was working with Dr. Khorasani, right, one of the biggest things that he really helped push to us was how important Persia and Persian identity is to the Middle East. And a lot of people like to conglomerately label all of those cultures the same thing. Right? Persia is not Turkish, Turkish is not Arab, Arab is not Indian.
Yeah.
Right? These are all very different regions of the world and should be treated with the respect that they deserve from those regions.
Much like New England is different than the West of the United States.
Well,
vastly different.
And if you come across a European medievalist and you French versus English, you're like, it's all the same thing. You would get a little bit of discord over trying to lump them into one group, and they're more similar, I think, in many ways than a lot of the groups you listed culturally, which is kind of a neat aspect. So it's lovely. And you brought in a unique style of fighting today, I noticed, with the sword and the dagger, and I really enjoyed seeing that. So there's some different techniques, though, outside of the HEMA and the Brotherhood that we've seen brought into the ring.
And I can speak from personal experience. It was really fun to experience that from a first-hand perspective, being on the other end of the weapon. You know, and we'll actually show those videos to you in a little bit. But how many members in your group right at the moment?
Bayt Al Asad, we currently have about 10 nationally and internationally.
Okay.
Only because we had to have a little bit of a reboot when we separated from Rosmusfar.
Right.
So we have a lot of the American members who left with me, and then we have a few in Indonesia and I believe Malaysia.
Okay.
Who are also joining us as well.
So,
okay.
Truly international group.
Yeah, yeah. Now, where can folks find out about the Bayt Al Asad?
So right now, we currently, because we're pretty much just getting ourselves established, we do have a YouTube channel. You just put in Bayt Al Asad, House of the Lion, which will make sure that's spelled.
We'll put that down in the links. Yes.
Yeah.
As well as Facebook, there's Bayt Al Asad page, and there will be a website launched very, very shortly as soon as we get everything worked out with our members concerning dues and funding and all that.
All right, right. So
what got you into the martial arts and into this reenacting aspect?
Oh God, that's a long story. I'm not trying to be concise. So I started on the cast of the Connecticut Renaissance Fair when I was 15-ish. If the owners are watching this, I'm sorry, I can't remember. But it was 15. I joined and I did the stage combat.
Okay.
Right. And I've had a lot of success doing choreography and stunt work in that world. But after a while, I was like, okay, what's the real actual history behind this? My fight directors were talking about these manuscripts. Meyer did this, whatever. What the hell was that?
Yep.
So eventually that made, not going to say a transition, but I started to use historical manuscripts to influence my choreography. And then from there on out, I was thinking, okay, well, I'm starting to portray all these Middle Eastern characters. There's got to be something from that part of the world. And eventually I just Google searched Persian manuscripts, and that brought me to Rosmusfar.
So you wanted to get more authentic with
More
your
historical
presentation and so forth. That's awesome. Now, the crowd obviously loved you today. We were at the New Hampshire Renaissance Fair, and we had done our fight show and our weapons presentation that we normally do. And Frank, the crowd really loved you. We really loved you. They were cheering up a storm.
It's different, something they've not seen
Right.
before, and that's always a great aspect.
Yeah, and you meshed so well with our presentations, as you did with his last event with us was the Vermont Winter Fair, and it was incredible for us. We want to thank you so much for coming in and playing with us. And did you enjoy yourself?
Absolutely.
All right, we did. That's the big thing.
Me.
Yeah.
This is one of the few groups I get a chance to work with where it's really a combination of wanting to entertain and also educate.
Right.
And you don't get that often in this sphere.
Yes.
It's a hard line between one or the other.
Right. As we constantly say, we're always trying to Hollywoodify the presentations that and the mindset of the patrons and stuff. And you did an incredible job today with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you were always, and I know we've said this before, you're always welcome with us to work with us anytime you want. And folks, again, if you want to find out more about Bayt Al Asad,
Down below,
the links below. And again, thank you so much for coming. And we thank you folks for checking out our video. We hope you had a great time, and we hope you have a great day. See you later.
Bye.
As you can see, Rostam is wearing a kit from the Middle East, and he's using a weapon that is from the Middle East. Dame Finn over here is using a sword and a shield. Now, technically, she does not need that shield because she is wearing her shield. Now, fighters at the ready. Salute. Fight.
Before with this sort of weaponry, and I see them all. All right, so knights at the ready. Salute.
here, and I use the term experts loosely, they're going to fire off six.
If we can get 6 done.
I think 2 of you might be able to get 6 done. Once they hit 6, or whoever is done faster is going to win. Now, you folks all the way over about here, you folks right here, get to root for Brian the Archer. You folks all the way over to about here, all right, I'm cutting you right down the middle, get to root for Sir Brian. Now you folks, and there's more of you over here, get to root for Rostom. Now, I am sorry, but this is going to require you folks to count.
You got a fan club.
All right?
So if Caitlin helps outside count, you count for Sir Brian, I'll help count over here.
All right, that means I won't have to count that high.
Nope.
All right, so, ready, aim, fire.
1, 2, 3,
We're at 1, right? Yeah.
4.
And remember, he's not even having to use that mechanical leverage.
No, 7. 8. You did 10, really stop. 9. One more. Last one. 10.
Hold! Good fire. Alright, so what did Brian get?
3. You got 7.
7. What did Brian get?
3.
You were counting. 3.
What did Rostom get?
10.
10. Woo! So back then,
I try to remember from the hips. Don't swing with just the arm. Keep it close, buddy. Close your distance.
Don't attack the weapon either. Attack the fighter. Oh, gotcha. But you're doing good though. Remember, don't attack the fighter. Don't attack the weapon. Attack the fighter.
Look at his eyes, okay? Move him where you want him to go.
Oh, good, good.
There you go. You got him. Go for him, not the weapon. There you go. Whoa! Gotta be quick, buddy. Keep those feet moving.
Oh, it was close. Very close.
I just want to go.
Oh!
We're at 2-1, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Oh, inside thigh, you got me.
Nice! Run it!
2-2. All right. Oh, arm! All right, good job. Salute.
You salute? There you go. Good job, Brennan.
Touch sword to salute finally. There you go. Good job. Excellent.
Nice
And it was on camera.